Joining us right now on the BetQL Guest Hotline. Joining us for the first time. He took over as head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas basketball team in March. They got their first win. It's Ed Cooley. What's up, Coach?
Coach.
What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Welcome hey, Coach.
Good
morning. Coach, I'm going to ask a Jason question because, and this is in hopes that we'll have you on regularly. Because I was looking at an article about you in The Athletic, and it started off talking about you having your headphones on, and you were listening to Whitney Houston, New Edition, Luther Vandross, and we always ask our regulars to have a walk-up song. And when I saw New Edition, it made me think EB and I used to listen to like BBD. Mm-hmm. What's the last concert you went to, Coach?
Actually, the last concert I went to is I took my team over to Capital One, and I took my team to see Drake.
Oh,
very hip.
Connecting with the youth. I like it. Wow. Well done.
That wasn't cheap.
No, but let me tell you something. At our age now, how do you connect with the youth? It's feet, your footwear, your fashion, and music.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you can connect with those and connect with today's kids.
Right. Or you post a TikTok video or something.
Yeah, that could work too.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
That's
that.
where you draw the line.
Or you just give them big NIL money.
Well, that could help too. That's a good way to connect.
Coach,
So,
just talk about the process coming to another school, and then kids are leaving, and you got to kind of go look at the roster and go, all right, well, we need to fill holes.
They won 7 games last year.
We had not a good year. Wasn't a good run. We love Coach Ewing, but wasn't a good run for him. Then you got to go out and find kids, and you're finding kids from Carolina and from Illinois and from Fairfield. That's just it's got to be a process, man.
It is a process, yet, today's landscape in intercollegiate athletics, you have to do that. You have to be able to adjust, adapt, camouflage, and again, given what we walked into and what we inherited, there was a negative overtone with respect to who we're going to play with. So some of the quote-unquote players that think they were better than they're not, they didn't come for whatever reason. So we wanted to target young men that wanted to be here, that valued education, that wanted an opportunity to change some things. And, we still got a long way to go, but I'm proud of the guys we got. Our staff did a great job in like 30-something days to assemble a team, right? And then we concentrated on our 24 class and our 25 class. And, that's what we're going to try to build from. But it was an overwhelming process, but we're here. We're excited. And, it's we're going to continue to build and try to build this thing into what we believe can be a monster and monster nationally.
Coach Cooley, I like some of the quotes you have in the Post recently where you said, talking about defensive effort, if you're soft, you'll never play at Georgetown. You said you better be damn good to be lazy on defense. So those guys know walking through the door at Georgetown that defense comes first, and you're certainly stressing that with your guys.
100%. I think toughness travels on the road. I think culture travels in your life. Like, what's in our DNA? What are we going to hang our hat on? The ball's not always going to go in the basket. But, if we can defend, if we have a mission and have pride, I think, I don't think you need an ultimate skill set to have will and want and max effort, right? Like, if you got that and you got a will and you got a determination and that person's in front of you and you take it personal, those are the things I think that resonate, and those are the things that carry. And if you come play for us here at Georgetown, that's got to be instilled in your DNA.
So, Coach, getting back to the portal thing, so when you look at the lists and the kids enter the portal, how many of the kids were you personally familiar with that you brought in?
Well, Jaden Epps we had recruited him when we were at Providence. And,
okay.
So we were really, really familiar with Jaden. We talked to Rowan when we were at Providence when he chose to go to Texas.
Right.
Coach Battle knew Dontrez Styles. We had played against Supreme when he was at Fairfield. I think we played against him twice. We had recruited Drew Fielder. So we had a pretty good feel for some of the guys, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you got to adjust in today's day and age. If not, you're going to be left out.
Right.
Talking to Ed Cooley, head coach at Georgetown, of course, 12 years at Providence, took the team to the tournament 7 times, including the Sweet 16 a couple years ago. Supreme Cook is just a great name. Tell us about him. He's one of the transfers you just mentioned. I guess he scored 19 last night. Tell us about
8 for
Supreme
9.
Coat.
You know, Supreme is he's getting better by the day. I mean, yeah, I love it. He's got like this Barry White tone. He's got this, yeah, coach, I'm going to go set a hard screen, right? He's got this quick twitch athleticism. He's got some, he's tough. He's a tough kid. You know, he's adjusting to the length and strength daily at the Big East level, high major level. And I think he's going to do a good job adjusting to that. So he'll give us somewhat of an anchor in there, a little bit undersized, but I think his energy and enthusiasm to get us over the hump in some of these games where we're going to play against traditional 7-foot, 6'11", 6'10" guys.
And then Ryan Mutombo, 7'2", 260. I don't know if the weight's accurate. I'm just getting this off of his bio, but I guess he played 6-7 minutes last night. But that's a big kid.
He is, and we're going to need him. We're going to need him. He's still developing. I mean, he's lost a lot of weight. I think he's in the best shape of his basketball career. Loves Georgetown. It's got to become more. It's got to become more hungry with him, and I think it's getting more and more hungry. He didn't have an opportunity to play a lot of minutes his first couple of years here, so he's really an infant growing into how to be a consistent contributor in college basketball.
You've got some second-generation players because you mentioned Mutombo.
They always do.
You've got Wayne Bristol Jr. Two of us went to the University of Maryland, and, of course, I'm assuming his dad was the Terp.
Right.
Yep. So that's, I've been told that multiple times, right? and what I always tell the kids is, okay, you're not your parents, become yourself, right? Right? And so many times these young men and women live in the shadow of their parents' presence, especially if they were really, really good and or Hall of Famers. So sometimes I have to have, and we all have to have a little bit of empathy for what these kids had to go through because they're constantly being compared to their parents. So be yourself, go be great, and if you fail, it's okay. Let's get back up and keep trying again. So that's what I always feel for some of the kids whose parents were in the spotlight when they were playing.
So I mentioned that two of us went to Maryland, and we have Coach Willard on the show pretty frequently. Can we get the Georgetown? Can we get the Georgetown Maryland game going every year again?
I'm sure he's been asked a million times.
Yep.
No, it's been asked a million times, and obviously Kevin and I have a great respect for one another. We have an incredible relationship going back from the Big East days, and that is definitely something he and I will work on, and we will get that done somehow, somewhere. I think it'll be great for the DMV area. I think it's a game that should be played annually, and that's something that I'm pretty sure Kevin and I will come to a decision on when that's going to be played, but I don't think it'll take us very long to make that announcement.
Do you happen to know the record? Who's got the edge? So you, of course, were coaching at Providence. He coached at Seton Hall. What's the record head-to-head? Do you have any idea?
Ooh, good question, babe. I don't know.
Got to go look at the splits for that one. That's going deep.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? We coach against each other. Going back to when we were at Fairfield and he was at Iona.
Oh,
wow.
I don't know. I think he's a great coach. I think he's dynamic. He's doing a great job over there. He's got some really good players. Honestly, y'all got all the stats, people. That y'all tell me.
We'll have to find it.
Yeah, we got to look that one up.
Let me ask you, Coach. What has surprised you so far? You've been here. How long you been here? 6 months? I don't know. Whatever.
Since March.
Yeah. So has anything surprised you about the job, about the area, about the fan base?
I would say the eagerness to get back to what Georgetown should be. I feel a lot of energy. I feel a lot of, want. You know what I'm saying? I felt it in the arena last night, and I was so grateful for all the people that came out. We have a big game Saturday. It's one of the few games we've played in Capital One Arena in an evening Saturday game, right? 8 o'clock game. I just feel the eagerness to want to win. And then the biggest thing that caught me off guard every single day is the traffic in this DMV area.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's a lot different.
It's
Isn't it?
way different than Rhode Island. Where do you live?
I live right here in the district. I have an
so it's not too
opportunity to
bad.
walk. I have an opportunity to walk to work, so we're blessed.
Oh, that's,
Oh, that's
beautiful. Beautiful commute when you can walk to work.
So when are you encountering the traffic? When you're going on like a recruiting visit to see the guys from
Well,
DeMatha?
maybe it's going to dinner.
We're going to Capital One Arena from campus.
Amen.
All of the
That's all
above.
it is.
So, Coach,
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just talk about the conference in general this year. Obviously, it's always difficult, and there's a lot of good coaches, some new coaches too this year,
Right.
but including yourself at Georgetown. But just talk about the overall strength of the conference, the Big East. You got 4 teams ranked right now. Obviously, defending national champion with UConn. Nova's always good. Butler's usually tough. Creighton is really good this year. Just talk about the strength of the Big East this year.
Great. Well, I think I was born in the Big East, right? I'm on my 22nd or 23rd year in the Big East, now 13 as a head coach. It's very strong. I think the coaching is elite. It's an older league, given that many of your top teams have seniors and fifth-year guys, given the COVID, kids are still playing. I think we have 3 or 4 teams that can get to a Final Four. I think 3 or 4 teams can win a national championship with Marquette, the reigning champions, player of the year, Kolick, who I know his dad and the kid pretty well. Creighton, Kalkbrenner, and Alexander, really, really good. Shireman. I think the sleeper team nobody's talking about nationally is Villanova. I think they're really, really, really good. One of the older teams in college basketball. And obviously Connecticut, the reigning national champions. You got Rick, who's going to do a great job down at St. John's. I don't know if people are talking enough about the Providence team.
Right.
They return 2 of probably the top 7 or 8 players in the league, player of the year candidate, and Bryce Hopkins, defensive player, and Devin Carter. And then when you look at the pace of which Butler's changed, they've added a lot of new guys. Xavier's added a lot of new guys.
Right.
We're new, we're upcoming, and I think when you look at Seton Hall, they have three backcourt members with Dawes, Richmond, and Wasu, that those guys can win a game by themselves, So the depth is great. The continuity of the league is really good. And what we don't have to worry about in our league right now is the realignment, because everything's so predicated on football.
Right. Right.
These college presidents and ADs have to protect the interest of football. So having a basketball-centric conference allows us to stay relevant, but it allows us to recruit kids that don't have to. People go and recruit and say, okay, go to 100,000. 100,000 people are at our game. Well, 100,000 people ain't going to a basketball game.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Is it fun? Is it engaging? Yes. Is it a selling point? Probably. Yet we get to sell basketball in the Big East. We get to sell basketball, and that's what you're coming for. You're coming for the education. You're coming for the basketball, and it just so happens, if you wanted to go to a football game, we live in an area where pro sports is pretty dominant here, so we can sell that as well.
Yeah.
But the Big East is going to be fun. It's going to be hard now. It's going to be hard.
Oh, it's going to be tough. And real quick before we let you go, Kim English takes over your former school, Providence, and I know you want to beat them now, but Dwayne Simpkins was his assistant at Providence or at George Mason, and he loved Coach English. So I think they're in a good spot too.
I think they're both in a great spot, and I love what Coach English is going to do at Providence. He's dynamic. He's exciting, right? It's not too many coaches that take over a new job that can walk into a tailor-made situation, not player-wise, infrastructure-wise, fan base, support, season ticket sales, marketing, donors. He is walking into a spot where he's going to have an opportunity to get out the gate really well. I'm going to cheer for him every game except ours.
Yep.
I really am. I hope, I hope they don't play well when they play against us. But at the same time, I'll be cheering for him as he's one of the young and upcoming coaches that I think is going to do a phenomenal job at Providence.
All right, Coach. Pleasure getting to know you. Hopefully we'll do this on regularly, and then we'll get you a walk-up song.
Oh, hey, make sure you know what? Our walk-up song this year may be Fred G. Sanford, baby.
All right.
I like that.
All right, you're in. You're in. Say no more.
All right.
Coach, pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
The Big East, 7 of their 10 coaches in the Big East are either in their first year or second year. I mean, it's almost completely flip-flopped.
Not to diminish what he does, but we always talk about it's great to take over a low bar. They had 0 Big East wins last year, and we're 7-25.
A no-brainer for him.
Look,
he's going to look like a hero here.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, you win one game in the conference, you're a hero.